Welcome to Yoga with Lara. My name is Lara. If your back ever feels stiff from sitting, this is a 10-minute seated spine mobility flow. There's no mat, no getting on the floor, only a chair is required. So if you're with me, we're going to move our spine in every direction so that you feel taller, clearer, and more energized at the end of the class. And if you find this helps you, please subscribe to my channel. It's free and it'll help my channel grow. Let's get started. Excellent. Let's get started with a seated spine scan and some gentle warm-ups here. So starting with your feet flat on the ground, on the next inhale, sit tall in your chair, already noticing how the spine feels today. Exhaling, relaxing the shoulders down. On the next inhale, bring your hands to your ribs. Maybe one rests above the other. Wherever they land is perfect today. We're just going to hold here. And notice our ribs expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. Each exhale is an opportunity to relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, relax what no longer needs to be holding you right now. On the next inhale, lengthening through the spine, feeling those ribs expand into the hands. It's here to support you. And on the next exhale, let's see if it feels good to add some gentle swaying side to side. We're adding some mobility here. We're warming up the spine. We're not relaxing it at all. We're getting it ready for our next couple minutes of movements. Excellent. Wherever you are, let's exhale the air out. Hands on the thighs. Excellent. You might notice I've turned my chair. I'm still in that seated position, hands on the thighs. Let's move now into a seated cat-cow with rhythm here. So hands are on our thighs. They're going to serve as support. And picture where your elbows are. Let's make sure they're like crooked into our hips, and they'll serve as a guide here. So follow along if this is your first time doing a seated cat-cow. I'll guide you through. Feet are planted on the ground. Inhaling in, spine is straight and strong to start. On the exhale, we're going to round the spine, tuck the chin, and bring the hands reaching towards the kneecaps at this point. We're thinking about hollowing out our navel and curling our spine, rounding it out. Should feel nice in the upper shoulders. On the next inhale, we're going to slowly, one vertebrae at a time, draw the elbows towards the hips, and then draw the shoulder blades together, lift the chest. Your eyes will naturally gravitate towards the wall in front of you, if not the ceiling above you. Resting here, make sure you're not, overextending your neck at all. Should feel like it's a nice stretch. Let's keep the movement going. Exhale back to our cat pose. So you're picturing a cat on Halloween. It's got its arch, or its back is arched. Holding onto your knees for support before on the next inhale, going into the cow pose, picturing your belly, the front of your body reaching towards the wall in front of you as your eyes goes towards the ceiling. There's always an opportunity to make sure your feet are planted in the ground. You're not clenching your jaw. Let's exhale. Let's get some rhythm going. Maybe you already found your rhythm here. If you'd like to join me for that rhythm. Inhaling to cow. Really emphasizing my inhales, and then exhale. Inhale. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. So on the inhale, you're arching the spine. Exhale, rounding. Now your form does not have to look exactly like mine today. Each day is different. Every body is different. No judgment here. Just make sure you have the intention of rounding and lifting, arching and rounding. Now, after we've been doing this for a couple seconds, see if you can make yours a little bigger. Maybe you can exaggerate the postures, whatever that means to you today. For me, I'm going to really lift my gaze up towards that ceiling now, reaching my elbows towards my hips. Exhale, rounding the spine, really arch, 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 arch. Excellent. Maybe doing a couple more to neutralize the spine before planting our feet on the ground, hands on the thighs. Wiggle it out, wiggle out any extra energy before finding your neutral mountain pose. Spine is straight and strong. Excellent. Excellent. Let's keep the momentum going here with a seated side bend flow. Let's reach the right arm up high. Inhale. On the next exhale, keeping both hips heavy in the chair, lean towards the left so that your upper body is reaching towards the left here. On the next inhale, coming back to center, exhale, gently lower. Switching sides, reaching that left arm up. Inhale, lengthen up the spine, reach up. Exhale, reaching over towards the right, making sure you're not lifting up into that left hip at all. Make sure it's situated on the chair there. Inhale back to center, exhale, float it down. Let's get the momentum going. Inhale, right arm up high. Exhale, reach towards the left. Inhale back to center and down. Left arm up high, inhale. Exhale, reach towards the right. Back to center, lower it down. Let's keep it going. Inhale, right arm lifts high. On the next exhale, opportunity here to add a small pulse. Reach, reach, before moving back to center, lower it down. Inhale, left arm up high. Exhale, reach towards the right. See if we can add that pulsing before we move it back to center, lower it down. That on here, inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. Adding that pulse. See if we can add a third pulse this time. I challenge you to try. If not, no worries. Inhale, opposite arm lifts. Exhale, reach. And then pulse, pulse. A third pulse before we go back to center. Exhale, float it down. Hands rest on the thighs. Let's breathe here for just a beat. Okay, similar to our last one, we're going to inhale the right arm high. But on the exhale, reach that right arm towards that left knee and wrap your left arm around your chair back. Maybe it's resting on perhaps a windowsill like I have here. Or if you can't rest on anything, bring it up into a cactus arm and just breathe here. Exhale, float it back. We're keeping the movement going here. Inhale, the left arm up high. Exhale, rain it down. Left hand, right knee. Wrap that right arm around. Keeping that spine tall here before we exhale. No slingshotting back to center. Let's keep the momentum going. Inhale, sit tall, right arm lift. Exhale, twist. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, left arm reach. Right arm twist. Breathe here. Before exhale, back to center. Let's keep it moving. Inhale, right arm reach. Keep that spine straight as we twist. See if we can deepen that twist here. You've been here before, your body knows where to go. Before moving back to center, inhale, left arm reaches. Exhale, twist towards the right. Breathe. Gently move back to center. There's an option to add on here. So on our next inhale, reach towards the left, wrapping around. There's an option to add on here with your neck, maybe bringing your gaze towards past your left shoulder. It's definitely a challenge for my neck today. So do what feels good for you and maybe try it again tomorrow. Before we exhale, no slingshotting, moving back to our center. Inhale, left arm reach high. Exhale, place it over that right knee, rotating. And see if you can add on here. We're at our maximum. Now see if you can bring your gaze back towards where that right shoulder is reaching. Again, this is a challenge for me as well. I'm not going to overdo anything. I'm just going to see where my maximum is today. Before I exhale, gently bring myself back to center. Getting ready for a seated forward fold. Best part of class. Okay, I did switch up the view of my chair just for the seated forward fold. If you're with me, let's bring our feet out wide, hip width distance apart. And our hips are planted on the chair. On the next inhale, sit up tall, reaching that spine towards the ceiling. On the next exhale, we'll hinge forward, bringing that torso over top the legs. And everybody has a maximum here. This might be your maximum. If that's the case for you, relax your head and neck. Feel a nice forward fold intention, but if you are able to keep that forward fold going so that your upper body reaches over top your legs, eventually your hands reach towards the earth, then relax the head and neck, let it dangle. Now let's really enjoy this forward fold here, because again, this is a mobility class, so if you've taken yoga with Laura in the past, we love these seated forward folds. And if your body's asking you to keep this stillness, stay right here, I recommend you do so. But if you'd like to join me in a little seated sun salutation, let's inhale, half lift, tracing our hands up our thighs, activating the abdominals. Spine is straight, neck is strong and long. Exhale back to our forward fold. Exaggerating your exhale here. Again, relaxing the head and neck. Let it dangle before we inhale again, half lift. Activating the abdominals will help you lift up safely. It'll help keep your spine supported. Exhale, forward fold. On the next inhale, let's reach our arms out wide. Let's have that energy draw up from the earth. Full body lift this time, not a half lift. We are full body. Our spine is straight and strong. Exhale, swan dive forward. Full forward fold. Hands reach the earth if they are capable of doing so. Head and neck relax wherever you land. Excellent. Now I invite you to stay in this forward fold for the remainder of class if it serves you. But if you like to inhale, half lift, activating the abdominals, spine is strong. Before we continue our lift up into our seated mountain pose, relaxing our shoulders down away from the ears. Maybe resting the hands on the thighs, on the thighs or the chest. Inhale, feeling the chest rise up to your hands. Option to close your eyes here before you exhale. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank you so much for being here. If this helped at all, please subscribe to my channel. It's free and it'll help my community grow. And check out some of my other seated and standing video options. Thank you so much for being here. Until the next one, take care.